everybody, it's Debbie here. Welcome back to my Crafty Dan. If you're new here, then welcome, and I do hope you enjoy yourself. And if you like what you see, then don't forget to subscribe. And if you are a returning subscriber, then welcome back. So today I'm doing a tag for Tag Tuesday. I've been doing them every week, but because it kind of doesn't give people, if they're busy, a chance to really watch the video and comment on it, I decided I'd leave them up for a couple of weeks, and I'll do one. Instead of giving the tag away, I got this wonderful idea from a YouTuber that I just found, and she's in the UK, and her YouTube channel name is Nina Ribena. And I'll put a link in the comments. I'll put a link down below to that YouTube channel. But she has a YouTube channel and a Facebook page. And on her Facebook page, she gives prompts for mixed media art. So she'll give a prompt each month, and then you can do mixed media art and share it there. And I think what you do is your choice, kind of. She just gives the prompts to see what you're going to do with it. But so she does something on her YouTube channel that I think is absolutely amazing. So if you comment on all of her videos, then you can win something at the end of the month. But her packages are, I went through and watched a couple of them, and they are really nice. What she does is she puts together a package with some little giveaway items, some things that you can use in mixed media, things that she can get there in the UK that are very easy for her to get, that aren't so easy for everybody else to get, and some of her homemade items throughout the month. And she'll put some tags, some ATCs, things like that in, and then some bits and bobs and things like that that are really nice to have in your stash for creating. And I think that is just an absolutely amazing idea. So I think I'm going to steal her idea from her. Thank you, Nina, for the wonderful idea. And instead of giving away just one tag at the end of each video, I think that what I'm going to do is a monthly giveaway, and that's what it will include. Some of the things from my hauls, and because I shop whenever I can at Dollar Tree, Dollarama, your dollar store with more. You've watched some of those hauls, and I do my tags and my ATCs, so there's no reason at all that I can't pass, something nice on to the end, at the end of every month, to somebody. And I think that's just a really wonderful way to pay it forward, and a great way for somebody to possibly build up their stash if they're just beginning, and hopefully they win something. So sometimes I start my tags with no idea in mind of what I'm doing, but I know exactly what I'm doing this week. Gorgeous. I'm really crushing lately on the blues and the purples, and I think I'm just going to go ahead and I'll do each part, and then I will show you how I've done it. This thing I'm going to do for texture is I got out a sheet. I just ripped a chunk off of an old Vintage Simplicity pattern, and I don't need the patterns. I bought the patterns at a yard sale, a whole box of them for very, very cheap. And I bought them for the artwork that's on the graphics that are on the front of the pattern packages, and because they're simply amazing. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to crunch it up really, really, really tight. And then I'm going to take, I got this idea from Nina Ribena as well. This is the back piece of cardstock off of a paper pad, one of the big paper pads. And she puts stuff down on her table, and she doesn't use a paint palette. She uses her paper for her paint palette, and then she uses it once it's just all covered with paint, cuts it up and uses it for the backing for ATCs and tags and things like that. And I think that is such an amazing idea. It is awesome. So yeah, so what I'm going to do with this is cover it with Mod Podge and then crinkle this all up onto this tag and put a front layer of Mod Podge on it, and it will give it the most amazing texture, I'm sure. So I'm going to do that. I just grabbed this this heart stencil. It's just little hearts. I first grabbed something that was a bit bigger, so I thought, well, I don't want to use anything bigger than that. So I'm going to grab my little spatula card thing, and I'm just going to put some of this texture paste on here. Put some there. And lift it up, and I'm going to put some down here, and then a little bit down in this corner too, I think. Yeah, that's all I'm going to do. I'm not going to do any more than that. Clean this off, and see, this texture paste being on here won't hurt it a bit either. It'll just give that some texture, which will be okay, because I think the more stuff I get on there, actually, the better it'll be. Sponge out, and I'm just going to start adding some color to this. I'm going to try to use, there's a tiny, tiny, tiny bit in this blue. So I'm just going to put it out on this paper and put it in my sponge, and I'm just going to start putting, oh, I like that you can see through too. I'm just going to start adding layers of color and building the color up on this with the sponge. Yeah, you can tell that's the end. That happens with these dollar store paints, eh? But I guess it's just a bit of kind of goo that builds up, and when it's I don't know how it does it. I think it must dry around the edges or something when it hasn't been shaken up for a little while or used for a bit. And then you kind of get this stringy bit. So I don't know if I can get any more out of that bottle. I think that's gone. That's a done one. And I'm going to use up some of this purple. So one of the tricks that I thought was really cool that she was talking about, the Nina Rabina video that I watched. And she was making tags and ATCs and using her paper. She was using some, a big sheet of mixed media paper from a pad that she'd ripped the sheet off. But she said that when she uses her background papers, she doesn't use the same background paper every time, that she'll haul out a background paper that already has light colors on it, so that each background paper has a pleasant look of colors, which I'm glad that she said that in her video, because I probably would have just started mixing colors away on it and thinking, boy, I wonder how come my background paper, my drop paper, doesn't look like hers when it's finished. So yeah, I'm just going to keep blending these blues and purples in here. Layer after layer, and see what happens. I think I'm going to put a little bit more purple in here too. And it's covering, it's getting down. If you push the sponge, it gets down into the cracks of that texture from the paper that's all wrinkled up. I think I'm going to add a little wee bit of more blue on there, but then I'm going to add a drop of white to it. Just some little bit more blue. And then if I can get any out of here. I'm not sure if there's any left in here. I have other whites, but I kind of wanted to use this one up. Now there's a little bit. It'll come out. I like using every last drop of what I have. I don't like wasting stuff. If I could afford to waste stuff, I wouldn't have to shop at the dollar store all the time. But I still like their stuff. There, that's just kind of blending the colors down a little bit, eh? That's nice. Keep them all mixed together. I don't want any edges where one color kind of just goes into the other color. I want them all blended, and see, that's just covering up that background just so nicely. That's awesome. And add a little bit more purple in here just because I like it and I can. There. Turn this around and do some on this side a little bit. Just keep blending now. Yeah, isn't that pretty? And look at the texture. Let's turn it. What's the best way that I can turn this? Like this, maybe. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? So I love the color. I love my poor fingernails. One day back at work and I have no nails. They were all chipped and broken by the time I got home last night. For me, working just does them right in. So one of these days, maybe I'll go get some gel nails and get them done and see if they stand up, because they sure don't. My real nails just don't stand up. Just putting a little more of this blue. And you'll see why I want all the blue and the kind of, because it's a whole rainy day theme. So I'm just going to take this and blend it out on the rest of this paper, because eventually I'll use this for something else. And why not? Okay. So I can't throw that away. I need to use it again. Just going to give my hands a bit of a wipe. And then I am going to grab a little piece of paper, because I want to try to make myself a little umbrella. I'm just going to try to draw a little umbrella on a piece of paper. I don't even know if I can draw an umbrella. I can't draw. I'm terrible. In my head, I believe that I can do it. But then my hands just don't do it. My head wants them to. So I'll be back in a sec. I don't know. Maybe that'll pass for an umbrella. I'm going to cut it out and see. It's just, I found this paper. It's back in that little 6-inch paper pad with the baby prints. But it has these little butterflies, little pink butterflies, pink and blue and yellow. And they're super gorgeous and cute, and yeah, so I'm going to cut this out and see what it looks like. I cut out this part of the umbrella, and I couldn't get this with that without kind of making a messy cut. So I cut this out separate, And then I'm going to outline the two in black, and then I'm going to glue this on the back of that. So I am going to take my, I want this to stand out when I glue it on the page or on the tag. So I'm going to put just a black border around it. I was thinking about grabbing a sponge and using some of my Memento ink and doing it with that, but I'm worried that if I use a sponge on this, I'm going to go too far into it. I just want it to have a thin black edge, and that's what this marker, this is a Sharpie chisel tip permanent marker. I love it. I love it for doing precisely what I'm doing now. It is so much easier to just go around something like this with a Sharpie when you just want a fine edge. So there I go. I'm going to glue those together, and then I am going to put them on. I'm not going to put them on till I have my words. I'm going to have my pieces, and then I'll show you what I'm going to do. So I decided to edge these little quote words by just taking my ink pad and rubbing them on the ink pad like this, just the very edge. I want enough that it'll show, but not enough that it'll, you know, make the paper look smudgy. And you have to be, I want a little bit on there. So just like this. I'm just letting it bend a little bit and drag over there so that it's right on the edge, but I'm hoping there's enough that when I put it down and, oh, that one did smudge a little bit. So you just have to be so careful, but I think that'll be okay anyway. So I'm going to glue these bits down and I'll be right back. So I've got them glued on, and what I'm doing now, oh, I changed my butterfly out. I liked this one better than the other one. This one, I don't know, there's something about this one. And with the touch of blue on it, it kind of fit in. But I'm just doing one more thing. I've added that little, I think I added it before, the little pearl, half flat back pearl to the top of the umbrella, just because I thought it was cute. But, I mean, it's raining, right? So, I don't know if you can see or not, but you see the raindrops, the sparkly raindrops? So all I'm doing to make these is I've got my stickles, and I've got this kind of clear. So I've put one at the edge of each side of the umbrella, which I think is kind of appropriate. And then I just thought I'd put a few more on here. So all I'm doing is making a drop and then dragging it up. So easy to do. Just make a nice sized drop and then just drag it up, and it makes like a, it kind of makes a raindrop. So I'm going to put some on here just because they're so stinking pretty, and I can. I love it to do things just because I can, right? There's so many places in the world that you can't do what you want to. The craft room is not one of them. There. My cat's trying to get back in. My husband just came in, and I just wanted to finish this up, and when I closed the door, she was on the other side of it, the poor thing, and she hates being locked out. So anyway, that's my card. I'm going to get a ribbon because I can now. Hello, did you get back in? Yeah, you opened the door a little bit. So, which ribbon should I use? Eeny, miny, mo. That silver would look really pretty with that. I have this blue, but it's not the right color of blue. And then I have this navy blue, but this isn't navy blue either. So I think this silver is going to be the one. So I am going to cut a piece. Doesn't really have to be that long, I don't think. I'm going to cut a piece. And I'm just going to shove it. I have to be careful now because these stickles are going to be a while to dry. So I'm just going to stick that through from front to back first. And then open it up. Now you want back out. And she's coming, she pushed the door open, came in, and now she's scratched at the other side of it so that she's got herself locked in here. What a crazy kitten. She's just too funny. So anyway, so then when you pull this up, I'm gonna make that a little bit tighter. Oh, that didn't kind of tighten up. I wonder why. There. So then this piece goes in front like that. I'll try to turn this around a little bit. You just fiddle with it until you get it the way you want to. And then I'm just going to take my scissors and I'm just going to cut that off. So there you have it. There's my tag for this week. Life is not about waiting for the storm to pass, but learning to dance in the rain. This is my sister's favorite quote. She has it. I've already made a tag. Not like this, but with this quote on it. I think this is my third tag with this quote. Third tag ever with this quote. And I've done a art journal page with this quote as well. I've given the other 2 tags away as gifts and kept the art journal page, of course, and I'll give this one away probably too. So if you like this, I'm just going to give you a little close-up. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to share and comment. And if you'd like to see more, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you, everybody. Have a marvelous day. And bye-bye for now.